Merry Christmas, everyone. This week, we got a special episode because Stu, who does the Talking Nardcores with me, he hit me up and he said him and a friend, Bert, wanted to interview Retaliate. So we did that, and just be warned, the drinks were flowing, and this thing really gets going like maybe an hour in, we start getting kind of loose. So enjoy this present from 185 miles south. It's the Retaliate episode, and we got good news, man. We're gonna do a new record. We already tracked the drums. We're starting to track guitar now, so that will be out sometime next year on the Indecision Records. I hope you guys get as excited as we are. It is really fun to be doing these songs. We love this album. We were so emotionally attached to Thorns Without a Rose, but this record, I fucking love it. So that's coming. I'm happy to tell you guys all about that here. If you would like to support the show, please like, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And again, like I said last week, if I can get up to 150 ratings on Apple Podcasts, I will do a special podcast on Fugazi. How about that? You can also become a Patreon. That's patreon.com/185 miles south. And become a monthly contributor. And those are my real heroes. They keep the podcast alive, and it is much appreciated. Thank you for all the support this year, guys. This is the last pod of the year, which is also my first year doing it. And next week will be the January 1st episode. We'll be looking back a little bit, and maybe we'll get sentimental then. I don't feel like doing it this week. But thanks for the support, and here's the episode, guys. Merry Christmas. If you celebrate something else, that's fucking awesome, too. Do your thing.
"185 Miles South", a hardcore punk rock podcast.
The Ring of Power.
Into the
Ring of
dark.
Power. Any of you want a little bit of this?
Yeah, well, sure.
Oh, shit.
Guzzling.
Damn.
Wow, this. Oh yeah, there you go.
Guzzling.
That'll kill all the plaque.
Forgot my toothbrush. So, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right. So, today on the pod, it's fucking Retaliate, the greatest band on earth.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the best pod ever.
All right.
I think.
Well, you guys know Stu. Stu's on a lot of pods with me, along with episode 1, the legend Joe Rivas. And, and he hit me up and said, me and Bert want to interview you and Verity about Retaliate. And I said, hey, the people have spoken. Let's do this.
Give the people what they want.
You got to give them what they want, dude. So let's fucking do it.
All right, let's just dive right in, dude.
Dive, dude.
So January 14th, 2006, at the Alpine, you guys played with the Warriors, Whatever It Takes, for the reunion. All is fleeting. Hit the deck, set your goals. You guys were late and only played 2 of your 4 songs. Why were you late?
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember that at all either. That's insane because I don't remember a Whatever It Takes reunion.
I do remember that. Yeah.
At the Alpine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't remember that at all. We played 2 of our 4 songs in 06. Well, in 06 we had the LP. We could have played way more songs.
Best 2 songs ever.
Shit. So did we play 2 songs last?
I don't know. Mikey just told me about it.
Okay.
That was like a hearsay story, and they just said you showed up late, and he wanted to know what happened.
I don't know. I don't remember that at all. I do remember that at one of the Sound and Furies there, Brady was like way late. Do you remember that? And we were going to like play as a 4-piece.
Right.
I was like, where the fuck is Brady? It was like, we're from here. But it was like, but he was like young because he went to college like right out of high school. And so he was like living in Long Beach. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I don't know, like 19 and not responsible, you know?
We were
And-
usually pretty late, like always. I don't know.
And I hate that. You know,
sucks.
because In Control was always on time, and we always got burned for it. Like, I remember we would, like, be on tour and we'd show up at a show. Like, one time we showed up, we were in Vermont, and we showed up at this show, and we were the only band there. And they're like, well, looks like you guys are opening. And it's like, why the fuck
You get punished.
are we
dude.
punished
Nope.
for being, like, the responsible ones, you know?
That's
So-
like always what happens, I feel like.
Yeah, so we learned from that experience. I think that had to be in the second tour because we didn't go there the first time. And every time after that, anytime that would happen, either me or Ryan would go disappear. Because by then we had cell phones. On the second tour, we had a cell phone. So we would, like, if we showed up when we were the first band there, it was like, peace, one of us has got to go. And we'd just go hide out in town and, like, wait until halfway through the show to get a call. So, like, we wouldn't all be there. So...
You live and you learn.
Yeah, because that we got fucked, dude. That show was actually a pretty decent show in Vermont. Like, I'd say like 80 kids, and what was the band? My Revenge was the local headlining band, and that kid booked all the shows. And yeah, it was a rager. It was like probably 80 kids in like a perfect little club. And it's like, God damn it, dude, why do we open this shit? Anyway,
Bummer.
fuck Crispus addicts.
Flyer of the show.
Flyer the show.
Fuck, dude.
Anyway, that's the answer.
Oh, right on.
No, but in all serious, how did Retaliate actually like form and get to start?
All right, so I don't know. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Long time ago, but
A real long time ago.
back in '94. Myself and Matt, who's also in the room here with Roger.
Shout out to me.
Legends. We were playing in a band called Too Close to Call, and we had a show in Ventura at Pat's Warehouse, which was the spot to play back in early 2000s. And
Yeah, you
shortly
should say
after-
it's where like Terror did their first show.
yeah, piece by piece for a show.
Yeah, it was a pretty happening spot, and it was just like a little room. Like Pat, it was called Pat's Warehouse because it was Pat's dad's business,
Right.
and they did like what they do, like workout machines. I think they rented them or sold them, and there was this like, you know, if you've ever ran a business or worked somewhere, I guess.
The
You know
front
that
room.
like
Yeah,
you
the
know
front
there's
room.
always like a little wasted space in like an industrial building.
Right.
And basically there was this one room where they had nothing in there. And Pat stepped up and did a bunch of shows.
And yeah, a lot of good bands came through. I mean,
Knife Fight played there.
Life's Halt, I think, perhaps.
Yeah.
Knife Fight, Champion, First
Holding
Step.
on.
A lot of good stuff. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember reading that show review is that they took an hour to set up their smoke machine.
Yeah.
Bleeding through.
I think I threw a pumpkin in their truck.
But yeah, we had a little band, and we had played, and we were pretty fresh on the scene. And after we got done, Zach came up to me and said, "Hey, you know, I'd like to form a band with you guys." And I did not know Zach at that time, and being 16, 17 years old, is kind of terrified. You know, Zach is
Yeah.
a big, intimidating fella.
I think you were 15.
Yeah, was young.
Because I was 22. We started in 02.
Well, what made you want to start a band?
I just wanted to do a side project. What I wanted to do was, I think that band Alone in the Crowd, Jules' band from Side by Side and Wide Awake. I don't know if it's true or not, but they did like obviously the classic 7-inch, and then I heard at one point like they just did one show. Yeah. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to just do a band and do a demo that was like drop tuned and then just play one show.
And break
that's,
up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
break up, and that's all. And because I was doing In Control full time, and I saw Too Close to Call at Pat's Warehouse, and in 02 was a very weird time for like hardcore type stuff. Like
kind of terrible.
kind of, right? Like I don't think people understand how lucky we are that like Terror started then and like got popular and like was a good hardcore band that lasted and saved us from a lot of it could like hardcore could have gone in a lot of wrong directions.
They started influencing
You know what I mean?
young bands to go that direction. Versus the, like more like metalcore kind of situation.
And a constant callback to the past.
Right.
Right? Like they're another link in the chain of hardcore history where hardcore is always calling back to something before it.
Right.
Right. So in '02, there was a million bands that were trying to sound like Poison the Well and stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because they're a band that came out and they had a unique sound and it's fun to play and fun to listen to. But there was just a million copycat bands like that. And, you know, from playing music almost my whole life, you're aware of these people that are basically, they're like bedroom shredders, right? Like they can like shred the guitar in the bedroom, but they like don't know how to write. Like they couldn't play fucking Black Flag. You know what I mean? Like a basic song would like fuck them up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like at that time, a lot of bands were trying to like run before they could walk.
Trying to do too much.
Yeah, like play like the Ramones before you try to play like Poison the Well. You know what I mean? Like you got to get like a little bit of a foundation of being a good musician and good band before you like
Start playing math rock.
Yeah, totally crazy, right? And so that was kind of like what Too Close to Call was. Is like, I mean, their songs weren't very good or anything, obviously, because they're like 15-year-old like dudes that are jamming in their garage, but they sounded really good. And like they sounded like those bands that you see, like whether you like them or not, you can be like, that band practices a fucking shit ton.
And we did.
Yeah.
We would sit at Matt's garage and practice for 6-7 hours on end.
Right. And you could tell. It was just like, damn, this band sounds heavy and sick. And like, they're just some band that's opening the show at Pat's Warehouse. I was like, dude, I'm going to take that band. I'm going to write 4 songs. It's going to be the sickest demo. And then we're going to break up. You know, it'll be cool. And then I'll just do it in control.
It was a pretty solid game plan.
It was a good game plan.
Yeah. When you came up, I was like,
but the songs were too good.
That didn't work out for you.
Right.
The demo was not too good, though.
No.
So, because Matt didn't know how to play a fast beat yet. Matt didn't know how to play a fast beat. So, like, when we were recording the demo, we were actually considering having Roger, like, play the fast parts because we had 2 songs that had fast parts. And it's like Roger could like play the fast part and then ring out and then have Matt come in for the slow part, you know?
Matt was too fucking proud.
No, Matt was too proud to do it.
No.
So our demo just had a fucked up fast beat on it.
We ran with it, dude. We ran with it.
It was pretty fucked. So
Who recorded the demo?
Roger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to have. Yeah,
I can remember.
No, Roger did for sure. No, too.
When we first practiced, the first song we ever played was Born to Lose, you know, so we learned it.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, we were in Matt's garage in the room that was built there to play music loud.
Uh-huh.
And you had your back turned to us. And at a time when all the singers at that era, I mean, you got to think, at that point in time, Terror had just started, First Blood. A lot of the singers were going deep, low, screaming like that. And we rung out on Born to Lose. Born! And you went, no! And you got beat red. And me and Matt and Andy looked at each other like we almost shit ourselves, I think, dude. And we didn't know what was going on. And it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Well, I like the more interesting voices.
Right.
And so, I mean, to talk about that, it's like in the 80s in punk and hardcore bands, like the singer was one of the most like talented guys in the band. You know, like
for sure.
The HRs
They
and the
could play
Jellos.
everything.
Well, or just their vocals were an instrument.
Yeah.
Right? Like take HR, the Bad Brains, what do you got? You know, I mean, obviously you still have one of the greatest hardcore bands of all time, but what I'm saying is HR is going note for note with Dr. No. It's like, who's the more talented guy in the band? I don't know. The guitarist or the singer, they're both the fucking shit.
They're like head to head.
Yeah.
Like almost like this rivalry type thing.
Yeah, or Dead Kennedys, like Joe Biafra, that guy's fucking wild. And a lot of these people, you like their voice or you hate it.
Right.
Right? And it's like, and that would happen. I mean, even through to like, you know, some of the snottier stuff in the 90s, like No Effects, people were like, I hate Fat Mank's voice or whatever. And it's like, well, at least he's like rolling with something.
And he's
like,
probably the dude writing the songs too.
Well, it's like, and then you have the voice where you know who the fuck's singing. You're like, there's that guy.
Right.
There's only like a chosen few, I feel like, that you could totally identify as like, that's their voice. And whether or not someone likes it, it's their voice. And
right.
it's sick because of that.
Yes. And a lot of that was because I loved like the hardcore revival, like the youth crew stuff in the late 90s, like all the straight edge hardcore bands. But I thought that a lot of the singers were like it was a little on the safer end vocally. Like no one really like went for it being wild. You know, it was all ba, da, da, you know, which is cool. A lot of it was catchy and it's nice to listen to, but it wasn't like, I mean, there was no HR Jello or anything. And not that I'm ever comparing myself to these fucking guys, right? But
dangerous.
But it's just a voice where it's like, dude, your mom's not gonna like it. You know, like what the fuck are you listening to?
Instead,
you know, yeah, it's like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's just not it's not safe, right? Because even people that like an insane style of music might not like it. Yeah. You know, they're like, what the fuck? Like
the outliers.
Yeah, like outliers. I don't know. Angry Homer Simpson. Oh. Right?
We've probably heard it all at this point in time.
I've heard it all. Yeah.
Nice. So what was Retaliate's first actual show?
2 shows.
Yeah, that was cool, huh?
One night, 2 shows.
So
the Loft.
We already had the demo out, right?
Right.
Okay, so we recorded the demo. We did like a CDR demo. And then, we played 2 shows. The first one was at Skate Street.
Yeah, the Loft.
Okay, it was called the Loft at that time. So that, for people, that's where like the first 3 Sound and Furies were. But Sound and Furies, they were in like the big room.
Downstairs.
Right, and they did shows in like the small rooms upstairs for like smaller shows.
Right.
Yeah, so we played that. And I don't remember who else played.
I don't know either.
Because I do remember. What's that?
I was asking the big man back here if he has any recollection.
Yeah, so we played there, and then we took off and we went to the living room, and we played the living room also that night. Because we only had 4 songs.
Yeah.
So we went, and we didn't do covers yet, right?
No, nothing.
Okay.
So did we even wait for the show? No, to end it in the Loft?
No. We just took off and went and played
man.
Dick
Fucking
Move, dude.
Assholes.
Hey, Verity, dude, why you gotta be a dick? But yeah, so then we went and played the living room, and that one was with Scare Tactic.
Right.
Right? So,
that's right.
Yeah, in 02, that was Scare Tactic. And that was fun. And actually, we had a recording of that live shit. Do you remember?
I have never heard it.
Oh, I had it for a long time on tape. Like, John Lyons recorded it for us. It was cool. Yeah, it's probably in there somewhere on one of those fucking... It's in there, Stu, in your tapes collection.
Dude, I listened to the Over My Dead Body unmixed LP. It's really good.
Was it better than the mixed one?
Yeah.
Damn, who mixed that shit? But yeah, that was our first show. First 2 shows. We only played like 4 shows in that first run, right? 4 or 5?
I think then Ojai.
We played Ojai twice. We played once with
Hope Conspiracy.
Played once with HopeCon. Yeah, and then once with Clench Fists.
Yeah.
The band,
Memphis.
Yeah, the Clench Fists from Memphis.
I thought they're from New Jersey.
Memphis for sure, because we played. That guy would book our shows in Memphis.
Okay.
And he drew
his name
like
was Memphis.
No, Memphis was his younger brother who played drums in other bands.
Okay.
And he lived in Denver.
Fuck.
Well, I think that's how he got the name Memphis, because he moved to Denver. What's that?
Were both those shows at the Women's Center?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that might have been the only 4.
Probably, actually, yeah.
And one was on the floor and one was on stage.
Mooching gear, everything, screws up. Hey, can we borrow your gear?
Yeah, and then we stopped playing because...
What year was that?
Well, we just played in 2002.
Right.
And maybe it was 03? 02 into 03? Because no. We didn't play in 03 at all, because in 03 In Control went on tour twice.
Right, and then at the end of 02 is when Vendetta had the first show too.
Yeah.
Who played that?
The first Vendetta show was Terror, First Blood.
No. Terror In Control.
It's great radio.
I don't recollect that.
Yeah, so that's what happened, was because we basically... I wanted to do one show. They wanted to like do a band because they got excited when the songs were good. And then so we kind of like did a few shows, and then I had to go put everything in Control in 03 because we did a second LP and we toured twice. And I booked our tours. So it took me about 4 months to book a tour. Like a solid like 4 or 5 week tour.
Sure.
So that's like my whole year. It's like 2 tours plus booking them plus like working terrible jobs and trying to survive.
Pretty stressful.
Yeah, and so that's when Vendetta started because now they could.
Right.
You kind of like knew how to do songs now.
Yeah, at that point
Right.
in time,
The
we were ready
demo
to go.
is so tight musically. And
The
just
Vendetta demo.
it's so good.
That beginning of that was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah.
You know.
So who's the lineup on the Vendetta demo?
That would be myself. We had Matt on the drums, Andy Brady guitar, Daniel Lopez bass, and Milo Quiros on other guitar.
So you add Danny and you add Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those dudes were dialed in because they had played in a band together as well. They
That's
played in
right.
Whatever It
They were
Takes.
from Whatever It Takes. Yeah.
And
Whatever It Takes played a lot.
yeah, I mean, when I was going to high school, that was the local band. That's kind of what gave maybe me the idea to think that we could actually play in a band, because Matt, Andy, and I had been playing for a couple of years even before that. And when I got to Nard High, I saw that there was other people our age that were playing music. So, you know, it seemed feasible at that point in time. And I don't know how that all worked out, but how we all got together. But
We'll do the Vendetta episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's roll into 06. The first LP comes out.
Okay, so backing up before the first LP, basically what happened was In Control broke up in 04, and I took a year off from doing music. And it was just like, it's weird. I think that it seems so stupid, and it seems stupid to say now, but I think that most guys that are, you know, they stayed in hardcore, like, you know, into their 30s and late 30s, like I turned 40 in a month. That period, like when you're 25, 24, 25, like that's kind of like the most washed up time, right? Because you feel like I've been in hardcore for like 10 years, like I know fucking everything, like this and that, and like,
Burnt
you know,
out.
you have these grievances and you're burnt out and like whatever the fuck ever, and it's stupid, right? So at the end of In Control, I didn't feel super good. So I took a year off, and like I was like working real jobs and shit, or like full-time jobs, and then I don't know, in that time, like I wrote about it, like the song My Love Is Real is about the year I didn't play music. It's like you have it inside you, like you have to do it, like called back to do it. So I hit up the guys. I don't remember how I reached out or anything.
We were ready.
Yeah, so I mean, and they're playing in Vendetta, like they're just getting better and better at what they do. So it was kind of like easy, like let's do a band, let's do Retaliate again, you know. And reached out, and they were okay with it. And then we went and we started playing shows again.
You did that underground show.
The one where Marshall got hurt, right?
Yes,
That is the only show that I ever set up in my entire life. That was it. That was the end for me after that. Yeah.
You set up your own rig the first time.
That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, so like in that time we came back, we had the 4 songs. Yeah, because we were just playing the 4 songs.
Yeah.
We
song
did like an
number 1,
intro,
2,
and then
3,
maybe we
4.
played a cover. Yeah, that's right. And then I moved to San Diego in 06
Okay.
because I remember my first girl. Jesus Christ, I'm going to end up putting my whole life out on this stupid podcast, right? Okay, so the girl I moved to San Diego for, I remember she came up and only saw us one time. It was when we played that weird Santa Barbara show at like a church or something.
The Alano Club.
And that was on the second run.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when Milo was mad at you.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Fun time.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to piece this all together. So yeah, we get back together, we play a few shows, then because we played shows for a while, like just playing 4 songs plus like an intro and a cover.
Right.
Like we do that Slayer intro, 4 songs, and then like a Chromax cover. Right?
Life of my own.
Yes. And then we did that record.
So
Yeah.
the underground show was before the LP.
Yes, definitely.
Let's talk about the underground show
Okay.
because that show was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. There was a band, I think, from Arizona that, for some reason, people reach out to me and they're like, "Can you set up a show?" I'm like, "I'm not the guy.
I've only done one, man.
I'm not the guy." And for some reason, I had maybe a week before this band reached out to me. Matt may have even been there. We saw like an all-girl band play at the Underground, And I thought, wow, this would be a pretty excellent spot for a show. So I found out, who ran the spot and said, hey, I've got a bunch of bands that want to get together and play. And they were cool with it. And then I booked my first gig. I knew I had to get the Warriors. I knew that Retaliate and Vendetta were basically a package deal at that point in time. We played probably, 10 shows where it was both bands, and then we realized that that's a little bit more difficult than it's worth. You got Matt drumming on both
It's easy
sets.
for me.
Yeah, that's right. So, that was actually a lot of fun. It went over really well. Unfortunately, Marshall did get clubbed with one of those little grocery store dividers or miniature baseball bat by somebody, and I think he got his ear split open or something like that. But he's all good.
He's good now?
Yeah.
That's good.
Full recovery.
Who sang for the Warriors that night?
Marshall? Yeah, I think, no, actually, if he got beat up.
No, if he got fucked up during
Andy Diehard.
Andy Diehard?
Andy Diehard had to come through.
Sick.
I think With or Without You played then too, right? Or Die Hard Youth? One of them did, because they did
Actually,
another year.
It was With or Without You.
Yeah. There you go.
Indeed. But yeah, that's it. First and last. Too much pressure, man. No thanks.
Booking shows is hard.
It's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, props to all promoters, man. It's a hard job. I don't like it. I would say of all the pieces of hardcore, it's my least favorite.
Booking?
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most thankless too. Like you hardly ever know who promoted the show or whatnot.
Yeah.
Someone's always upset.
Someone's always fucking mad.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether or not their guarantee didn't get met, or their per diem, or their rider, like a trash can full of Tecates.
Yeah. And if you make promises and no one shows up, you still got to pay somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whatevs.
Did Retaliate play any other shows before you guys released that first LP?
Yeah, I think we had to play a handful because I know for a fact we played Alpine once, and we had it wouldn't have been Sound of Fury because the Sound of Furies we would have had the LP out, but we played Alpine once where we only had the 4 songs, and then we played Infamy, but I didn't have lyrics yet, so I faked the lyrics.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pro.
I had no lyrics and just went out
pro.
like, and no one knew, and so yeah, we definitely played Alpine once. We had to, and we played that Santa Barbara show, the Alana Club.
Right.
Because that was, again, the 4 plus the Chromex cover. And that might have been it. Then we did the record.
I think so.
If the record came out in 06, that's probably it. That's probably like my year of not playing hardcore was probably like half of 04 and half of 05. And we must have started playing in 05 again.
It does seem like a long gap in between, but
Yeah.
it was always fun.
You guys didn't play Sound and Fury 2006, like the first year it was at Alpine?
We played the first year for sure. And the second year. And we played
Santa Barbara.
We played a Santa Barbara one, and then we played Oxnard, and then we were gonna play the other Santa Barbara one, but that guy drove the motorcycle on the pit.
Yeah.
Show's over.
Yeah, silly.
Sad's dead, babe.
That sucks. I'm so bummed on that because Sick of It All played the Shea Cafe, and I missed Sick of It All at the Shea Cafe because we were playing Sound of Fury, and that guy rode his motorcycle in the pit, and
I'm not mad about it, though.
Why?
Because the entire fest got moved to a 1-bedroom house in Allen
Oxnard.
Acres.
Yeah, and like what? How many songs got played? Like
I think
8.
Three bands
Three bands
played.
played. It was like Foundation.
They didn't play the whole
Tiger
sets.
And then
No, but it was just cool just to be on the front of the VC Star and like people stage diving off a house and stuff.
Yeah, it was like me and Dan from Downpresser and like another dude that organized that. But fuck, that was sorry. I don't.
Fine.
I don't know.
no, I get if you like dedicated like a whole weekend to like driving up and playing that, and you didn't actually get to play your set. That's
Yeah.
probably pretty tough.
Sorry, and like I don't know, like riding a crotch rocket around the pit, like sick, dude, sick. Look at me, look at me. It's like it's like the fucking meme of like the lady doing like cartwheels on the beach, right? Like you know what I'm talking about? Woo, sick, brah.
All right.
Let's talk about the first like LP release. That was a pretty big show. I was there. It was like Lights Out, Betrayed, I think, headlined. You guys played. I think Violation and Internal Affairs hopped on, even though they weren't on the bill.
And I think Force of Change, right? It was
No,
their
they
record
dropped-
release too.
Because they dropped every show they were playing at that point.
Oh, was that at the Alpine?
That was a good show. We got really lucky because when we came back, that was right at the prime of the Alpine, and Todd hooked us up a lot. Todd put us in good spots on good shows. But then also, credit to ourselves. I've seen other bands that like they regale in that spot, right? Like I want to be main support for life because there's so much glory there without any risk. And like we stepped up and headlined a lot after that.
Often.
So I would like to think that like, all the opportunity of being put on good shows, it paid off because then you have like a local headliner,
right?
That like, I mean, until this day, right? We still headline and other, like, I don't know. No one wants to fucking headline.
Yeah, no.
Now you got headliners though. It's like you have Dead Heat and
yeah, and I
That's
can't
cool.
wait until Dead Heat headlines over us.
Yeah, next time we
Like
play
the first time they headline over us, I'll
they're
give them that
headlining.
fucking,
Yep.
I'll give them that dap.
That's it, man. They're
Hopefully the next time they do headline over us, like it's been I don't know, that was cool. Todd put us on, and that was really nice, and it gave us that early momentum, which is like just everything aligned nicely.
you guys have direct support for a lot of the tours coming in.
We did probably 3 big direct supports, including just a show like that. Like we were just on good slots on good shows, plus those early Sound and Furies. It was enough to build up a local following that we could headline, through until now, right? But no one wants to fucking headline.
No, that's not fun.
so
Especially if the band right before just crushes it. Like, fuck. You see everyone leaving.
So we're still ready. I've been waiting for 10 years for another band to step up and headline, and now's the time. Dead Heat can do it.
Yeah, no
But
doubt about it.
I want them to do it.
And then we can be direct support for them in Europe
Yes.
or Mexico,
Yes.
perhaps.
Or both.
Yeah, why not?
Both.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Here's something. What was it like seeing the post In Control era of kids kind of trickle into the scene?
I don't know what that means.
I think what Stu's trying to say is our generation, because
Yeah.
a lot of us, in the Dead Heat kids, were just young enough that we got to see you guys play once or something, and then after that we went to a lot of the Retaliate and Alpine shows and stuff like that.
I guess I never saw a difference.
Yeah, that's cool.
But Nard is a little different, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of its own microcosm, which is, I think that I don't know, we deserve a little credit for the success of those early Santa Furies too, right? The fests were done in a scene that thrives and has a lot of fucking kids. There's some built-in success there. It was it's not like the show was being done in Bakersfield,
Right. It was a great spot for those Santa Furies to start in.
And
Right.
you guys to play, because it was I feel like people from outside this area are who the fuck is Retaliate playing in the middle to towards the end of this fest, and then people going off for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think, now it's humongous. I didn't make it to the last one in Los Angeles, but I saw the pictures.
ridiculous.
There's,
It's insane.
1,000
No,
people
Woodstock.
there.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And for something like that to start where we're from in Oxnard, California, wow, it's pretty incredible. But I think In Control definitely sort of paved the way, even for what they're saying is after IC finished up, there was already sort of a built-in fan base, and they trickled on to Retaliate and to Vendetta, and all those guys that were drawn to that really were built up.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. So, yeah, because In Control was not popular,
Right.
for most of the band, right? But by the end, it was, and so, yeah, the scene was already pretty built up, and then there was kind of a want for a little while, and then, yeah, I guess we stepped in, but it was weird. I mean, I've felt weird about it for the last 10 plus years, because in 06 I moved to San Diego.
Right.
It's it's weird being the band that has to headline hardcore shows here when I don't even live here.
Yeah.
So, But hey, the love for an art is real.
Big
You
time.
know, that shit never changes.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't know. In Control was. Yeah, I don't know. Is that a satisfying answer to you? Like,
I
don't. It's you don't notice when people are showing up or dropping out of the scene, really, right? Like,
especially when like new kids are coming into it.
yeah, it's such a macro. Like, I don't feel like there was a big fluctuation. Do you? Like, when did it get bigger or when did it get smaller?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't say I know.
It's hard to say because, like, even I don't know. It's just hardcore is weird, right? Like, even
Especially in this area. Like Max and I were talking at Chain the other day how like kids at Oxnard High, like in Robert and I's generation, like everyone just like went to shows.
Sure.
Like, regardless if they were into the music or not. It was like an event and you just, oh, it's the weekend, there's a show at the Alpine, or oh, it's the weekend, there's a show wherever the fuck. And it's like everyone just went.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't even know you like music. No, I don't really. But it was like weirdly like entwined with like surf culture even. So it's
yes.
Surf skate.
like, yeah. Surf
Well,
skate, like,
Laser
people just
Star
fucking went.
Laser Star was probably that way too.
Right.
You know, like in '98, like I mean, it's so weird to have like 300 people at a show where it's like, does anyone like any of these bands? Like, the fuck is this? I think that it's like Ryan said on the last pod. Is this area? It's kind of built in the DNA that like
Go and support.
punk rock is big and like
Right.
people go to shows. It's just like one of those things to do. Right? What are you doing? Go to a show. You might not even be interested.
Yeah, seriously.
You know?
It's a bunch of maniacs, man.
You want to see something crazy happen, go to the show.
Yeah.
Probably helped it was at the skate park too. Like I'm sure a bunch of shredders are just like, what's happening over here?
Right.
Yeah.
Goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of how you moved to San Diego, that's almost like Retaliate's second home. I've always thought. Like, how did the San Diego kids respond to you guys playing out there? Because you played like the Che and some other stuff a bunch, haven't you?
Yeah, we played a lot. But San Diego was In Control's second home.
Yeah.
So, like I talked about a little bit on the last In Control one with Ryan, like In Control started very late in '99, and then in the year 2000, there was not any Oxnard proper clubs because our first show, I think, was October, November of '99, and that was the final Laser Star show. So in the year 2000, the closest club we had to us was the Living Room in Goleta, which is probably 40 minutes. And the second closest would be like the Cobalt Cafe in the Valley.
Canoga Park.
Yeah, in Canoga Park. And that place was always kind of weird. There was always weird shit about the money there. Like I can't really remember why it was just never.
It's kind of hit or miss.
You never really thought about it the same as like the Living Room, the PCH, Shea, all these other places. Like
I wouldn't even include them into like that like
but they were
legendary venue.
No,
but they
I wouldn't consider a legendary venue because, but you know, it probably was for a lot of the people in that area.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because it was in a great area. The setup was okay. I mean, I
never got shut down.
I went to a lot of cool
carpet
shows
everywhere.
there. Yeah, it was carpet everywhere. Stage wasn't high enough to stage dive. But anyway, there was a circuit of a lot of clubs
Right.
that we could go to. And Shea Cafe being one of them. And they were like early adopters of In Control. Also because like my bands, even before that, had played down there. Standing Ground played down several times. Even Voice of Defiance played twice. So San Diego was like, I've been going down there and making friends since like, I don't know, 97. We go hang out and go eat at Pokies with Dawn or, go to Record Trader with Daniel or do whatever. And Bert and all, like, we just had a built-in friends. So, like, you make these networks, they want to like your band. So, In Control did well down there. And then so inevitably Retaliate did fine down there.
yeah.
And they had sick bands too.
Yeah.
And then you repaid the favor, brought them up this way.
Yeah. I mean, we brought Take Offense for their first show out of town.
With PC Death Squad.
Yeah. I got PC and Take Offense on that show. And that was the first time that Take Offense ever played out of San Diego.
Yeah.
So-
fucking
And now they've played 2,000 shows outside of San Diego or some
Serious.
shit.
Well, same with Downpressor. They opened it when they were still Don't Be a Menace, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Downpressor was sick from the jump. Like,
Totally.
before they were Downpressor. That was funny because they bounced around a lot of times with a name, and they were like, I don't know, the band was sick, but like all their names were sorry. And so I remember there was some show, I don't remember what show it was, but I named them Bricklayer.
I know, dude. All right, that was the first flyer I ever made.
Okay.
It was Mikey's first band, Juvenile Defiance.
Okay.
Bricklayer, Ability, Twice as Hard, at the Upstairs Alpine.
Was that the show where some
Dude.
kid got beat with like the Hulk hands, or am I thinking of something else?
No. Yes.
Dude.
That was a show. This
If I
dude
saw-
got
if
beat
I-
with a boogie board because Bricklayer played and they all dressed up as lifeguards. And this dude was just like drunk in the pit. And I remember Dan just goes, "Fuck that guy up!" And everyone just like beat the shit out of a boogie boards. It was crazy.
What was it about? Something Too Hard?
Twice as hard.
Dude, if you saw a flyer with Bricklayer and Twice as Hard on it,
Hell
fucking
no.
take my money. Take my money, dude. You know?
Scared, dude.
Yeah.
All $6.
Dude, right? But yeah, I think they should have run with Bricklayer a little longer. That was a good fucking band name,
Totally.
you know. But Downpress was sick. When they came with Downpress, it was like, oh, that's some sick shit. It's a little on the fucking.
It's super
it's a little
original.
on
It's
the.
original too. It has like the
It's a little on
reggae
the
roots,
jaw
too.
tip.
Yeah.
A little on jaw tip.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know? You can't argue with that.
Before we move on past the LP,
Well, we can talk about how ill that LP is if you want.
I don't think it's fucking ill.
That shit's
it's not ill because you guys changed the end to Born to Lose, dude.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I remember.
yeah, but I heard. I think did you guys took something very similar from one of your recent songs? Was that it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
That's your
actually
part,
tight
dude.
Because
You can have that part.
Yeah, we borrowed it
Yeah.
for good.
Hey, it's yours, dude.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys sounded fucking tight at the last gig, man.
Thank you, dude.
First
Yeah,
time I
yeah.
heard you guys
Thank
on
you.
the good sound system. It
was good.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded really good.
I just want to play on like bouncy drum risers.
That's
dude.
right. Yeah,
I
you
want
were
to play
bouncing.
there. That place is bouncing, dude. I want to bounce. But
Yeah, we
stage
swiped that dude hard.
Oh,
yeah, I think if you want to do proper Retaliate and go through everything, we should have Roger talk about the first recording. Raj, can you talk about how monotone the first?
here, come on, take my
Coup
spot. I'm
d'etat
gonna take
was?
a whiz.
Yes.
Come on in.
Just
Talking about
Jump in.
Roger Camaro. He's been in Retaliate ever since the second record, but he recorded the first record and the demo.
And you bounced around on instruments too, haven't you?
Yes.
I guess I have.
Yeah, because we'll get into that. When Matt left the band to fucking join the Warriors, I had to buy a double kick pedal, and I'm still waiting for fucking Verity to pay me back for half of it.
Oh, goodness.
Roger, can you explain why Coup d'etat sounds so monotone yet so awesome?
Because it was probably the first record I ever recorded that I attempted to put drum samples on. And I had no idea what the
But explain
fuck
what
I
a
was
drum
doing.
sample is.
So, if you were to record a drum set, you would most likely use multiple microphones on all the drums and all that stuff. And kind of the way things sounded crazier back in the day was by taking the sound of a hit of a drum, what they call a sample, and putting it on top of the actual recorded drum set, so it sounds like every single hit, it sounds like the drummer is playing as hard as humanly possible. And so,
Do you know all this?
I don't know anything. I don't know.
This stuff is always mind blowing, Roger. That's why I love to hear it.
The first time I heard about it was when it was mentioned. It was mentioned on the No Motive one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, that's like the sound of like Fat Record stuff, like, or Epitaph stuff. No Effects, Good Riddance,
You get a blue.
No Use. That's why like the kick drum always sounded so perfect on
All of them.
every time you hit it. It
That's
sounded
wild.
like every.
Well, it's triggered. It sounds triggered.
And we're talking about the same thing,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
But that was
You're saying every drum is triggered.
every drum.
Wow.
And that was, I think that's the first record where I used that method, and I didn't have any idea what I was actually doing.
I love
That
it.
sounds really good, though.
I love it.
Yeah, I love how that
what it
record
is.
sounds.
I love it too. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize that was like triggering everything because I always thought just the kick drum got triggered.
No, the whole entire. I mean, every drum. The cymbals are the cymbals, but are there many cymbals?
So every time a tom gets hit, it sounds the same.
yeah.
The Violation demo's like that,
Okay.
but it's I like knew that they did that before I knew anything about this. So, but the Retaliate record sounds nothing like that. So
Hey, people never stop learning, dude. Because I'm learning right now.
about your record fucking like 15 years ago.
Well, I show up and I say, "Hey, make it sound sick."
Say no more.
Yeah. Say no more, fam.
It would be a challenge to find wherever that recording is, but if I could remix that thing now, we would trip out.
Dude.
I wonder if it's even. I don't. Yeah,
Do it.
that's some deep digging right there.
What's the next question? We'll decide who fields it.
What do you got?
Was coup d'etat on Indecision?
Yes.
do
Yeah.
that.
So
I didn't know for sure. I knew it was in. I didn't know it was released on that. I thought maybe eventually they just picked it up and distributed it.
Oh, okay.
nah, man. There's no dumb questions, and also like there was a long time where music was strange in the 2000s.
Yeah.
This is pulling out of that a little bit, but like In Control was on Indecision, and like when Another Year came out, Dave did the CD and the vinyl, and then people forget that like there was a time in those 2000s that like hardcore vinyl was kind of like on the outs, and like the CD was so fucking popular, it was so dominating that like a lot of labels would just take the CD release and they let someone else do the vinyl. So like Truth Hurts came out on Indecision did the CD, and then Martyr did the vinyl. Yeah. And then even like even Epitaph was passing on doing vinyl. Like because when Death by Stereo left Indecision, I think on their third record, which is I can't tell you the name, but they still let Indecision do the vinyl for like an Epitaph CD. So vinyl was just like bunk for a few years.
Wow. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because Another Year is available on vinyl from Indecision, but not the Truth Hurts. The Truth Hurts only available from CD.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would.
Well, he probably only got like the guy from Martyr probably sent him a box of 50 or whatever their agreement was.
Okay.
You know. So, but yeah, Dave did the first two records, and he's doing the fourth one.
Sick.
Yeah.
But didn't he put Thorns on digitally?
Yes.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Super tight.
I know. It's nice to have everything in the same place, right? I think. Like,
It's a good record.
It's kind of dope that both your major bands have been on the same label too.
yeah, I mean, well, it's when you find people that you like and respect, you want to work with them, right? It's hard to find solid people sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know,
Totally.
Mandel, he's the fucking shit. Fuck it. You know, I don't know what more to say.
Let's get into the Mexico tour.
Okay.
Was that before or after We Are One, the second LP had come out?
Before. We only had the first record, right, Raj?
No, because I would have had to. We played stuff off of.
Closer, dog.
Didn't we play stuff off?
No, it wasn't recorded yet.
We haven't recorded yet.
Really?
We
I
took
was in the band, but it wasn't recorded yet.
Yeah, we took a long time to do the second record. We took like it was like 3 years for the second record to come out.
We didn't have a single song.
I think the first time you guys played a song off We Are One was like at the lab when you guys also played an In Control. You played another Year intro into Another Year. It was Ryan singing.
Okay.
And I think it was like a double whammy. That was a double, like quadruple whammy. It was like,
I don't even know what the lab is.
That was Nails for sure.
It was a show in Oxnard in El
it was in
Rio.
El Rio. It was like that graffiti show.
Oh, that was the sickest show ever.
That was Nails
it
for
was
show.
so-
That was Nails for show.
Dude, that was the sickest show ever. It was not Nails for a show, but it was like top. It was in the first 5.
Yeah.
That was a show Andy couldn't make. And
Yep.
then showed up.
I remember
Yeah.
my first band, X Malcolm X, we on the flyer were over Nails. So I'm always like, Fuck yeah. But we definitely fucking opened it.
But you definitely weren't over Retaliate.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that show was sick. That might have been my favorite show ever.
How did that happen?
I can't remember who booked it, but that was like
I think fuck. Jay booked it.
Oh,
okay, so that was the start of Jay booking.
Right on.
Jay actually deserves a lot of credit for Retaliate as well. Jay's a solid dude, and Jay was a solid, honest fucking booker and promoter for us. So shout out to Jay represent.
Yeah.
Much respect.
Barbecue.
Yeah, he's doing well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He always, again, just when the Camarillo spot was going, he took us up all the time. But yeah, that might have been like the first Jay show, huh?
I think it. Yeah.
That show was
I forget
tight.
because he was under another booking production name. Mm-hmm. I forget, like Twin Cities or some shit, or Two Towers, or I forget what it was, but that was an awesome fucking show.
Yeah. What was the question though?
Stu was asking about the Mexico tour.
Yeah. Oh, Mexico.
To the Mexico tour.
Yeah.
That was great. That's our good friend Renee. And I think that we may have been one of the first bands that he did it with. But he's been bringing bands down ever since. So we went in what year? 07?
07.
Yeah,
Yeah,
07.
we went in 07.
Around September?
Yeah, that's right.
Fuerza booking.
Yeah, it does Forza booking, and it was sick. We played Tijuana on Friday. We played. What's going on? I need a fox.
We can just hear Matt.
The fucking horse.
Stallion.
Matt is a stallion. Ah, Jesus. Yeah.
So funny.
Okay.
So going back in, do you want to go into Mexico?
Yeah. So Renee's a man, and he brought us down, and we played the first night. I think of Friday in Tijuana, and then we flew out that night, and we went to Mexico City, DF, and we walked around all day. It was super sick, and we got some stories, huh?
We literally walked for like 10 hours straight.
Dude, it was sick. It was sick, dude. We saw a lot, and then it was tight. So like, trying to think about how to attack some of this stuff. Well, first off, we had this dude Kuko, who was the man. He came from like the neighborhood, and he was like watching out for us because he'd be like, "All right, from here to here we can take like the subway, but from here to here we can't take the subway. We got to take taxis because you guys will get fucked with, like this and that." So they had someone looking out for us. It was real good, and we went to like some death metal swap meet. Then we went and saw a bunch of like the fucking like the Independencia, like the monuments and shit.
Yep.
That was super cool. Went to like the downtown where like not the downtown, but like the federal district. And there was like a little bar like right in front of like the
One
like,
of those big squares.
yeah, like well it's where like their not their parliament, but like their Congress or whatever it is, like where all the government shit is. And we got pretty shitty. And then we came out of the bar. We went in and the fucking weather was perfect, right? We come out and it's pouring rain. And we're like, oh shit. And so we had to like run into a church. And in in America, like religion is so sanitized. Like Jesus loves you, bro. And Jesus is just like fucking a white surfer that wants to hang out and barbecue, you know?
Jesus is my homeboy.
Yeah, like Jesus is just a guy that fucking likes to chill, dude. You know, he's got your back. But like, in Mexico City, fucking we walked into that church and it was like, oh my God. Like it's like a 50-foot Jesus like crucified with like his guts hanging out and shit. And it's just like, ooh, here's a different take. Yeah. It was like pretty dark. And then that was one of the spots like where we were playing that night. Kugo's like, we can't take the subway from here to where we're going. We gotta get taxis, and we couldn't find a taxi for like an hour or something. We're just hanging out in the rain, And then we finally got a taxi and we went to the spot we were going to play. And it was this fucking...
A strange building.
It was a weird building, dude. Like,
Was it a warehouse or was it a house? Because it felt like both.
it was like... I don't know, dude. It was like literally the Dark Carnival.
It was.
Yeah. I'm going to have Verity take my mic and you guys explain it. Because you can talk about the dudes coming down and shit.
Oh yeah.
It's bizarre.
So let's talk about the still water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. As soon as we got into this house, it kind of reminded me of like a carnival. Showed up, absolutely no one there except for us, and there was a giant puddle of still water on the floor.
Where people were supposed to be standing if they were going to watch us play.
Right, like congregating to watch Retaliate fucking tear it up. And there was no one there. Show's probably, I don't know, 2 hours out. So me and Roger decided we need a little bit of a nap. We've probably walked about 8 or 9 miles, maybe more. And we go into a dark room with a sofa. Me and Roger start to fall asleep.
This is what is this building like?
I don't know. It was sort of like a cathedral.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, sort of a cathedral-ish sort of building.
I was a stage.
Yeah, the stage was probably 5 or 6 feet high at least.
The whole thing's concrete, right?
Yeah, it was bad news, dude. I don't know what that was all about. They probably haven't been back.
All right, let's talk about the person that came out of
The floor.
nowhere. Yeah.
Me and Roger decide that it's a good time for a nap. Milo is going for a walk. Me and Roger fall asleep. I'm very close to falling asleep myself, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, there's a table flipped upside down, and it pops up, and there's a hole in the ground, and some dude propels from below. Come to find out, there's like a city under this building. Like Journey to the Center of the Earth type of shit. Fuck, dude. And
This dude was not a local.
no, I don't know if he was alive. He comes out and he's belting out Disarm by Smashing Pumpkins. And
No introduction, just going for it. We are his audience.
I'm pretending to be asleep because I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm looking at Roger out of the corner of my eye, wondering if he's seeing the same thing I'm seeing. And he's starting to kind of wake up. Sure enough, this guy gets maybe inches away from both of our faces and is just belting it. And me and Roger are looking at each other thinking, what the fuck is going on right now?
I thought it was maybe a dream because we didn't really sleep the night before.
No. There was no sleep that entire trip.
So I thought I was in some sort of
Yeah.
another dimension.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure we were day drunk.
It was shortly after that it was determined that we couldn't play here. Huh?
Yeah, luckily we were removed from the building before anything could get any more strange.
We couldn't.
So we continued our journey,
Yeah.
walking for hours.
well, the whole day, Kuko was on the phone, and I don't know if Renee was involved or not. But Kuko was like, there was another like hardcore show happening the same night, and we were down there with a band from Tijuana called The Red Awakening. Okay,
Yep.
I remember that band.
yeah, and so they're like, "Yo, we got a band from from Oxnard. We got a band from Tijuana down here. Let's combine the shows, because like." Obviously, we saw like our show was gonna do dog shit, right? Like, I mean,
It was not happening.
no. And then, but that's when it got serious. So like, Kuko finally stepped it up. And he was like, apparently, he told the other promoters like, "Hey, if you don't combine, like, because he's been nice to them all day long on the phone, like, no, we should do this. Like, it'll be better for the scene and all this." And finally, it was like, "Hey, these bands are gonna come play your show, or like all my friends from the neighborhood are gonna come shoot up your show." So, Retaliate headlined.
That entrance was pretty real, though.
Yeah, Retaliate headlined the other show. And it was fucking weird because we walked a few more miles over to the other show.
You know when you watch a movie and there's somebody that's entering a building and they know that they're getting stared at by literally every human in there. That was us walking in there with our instruments that we were lugging around the entire day, and so it wasn't like, oh, we're happy for you guys to play our show. It was more like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, I can attest to that because we've been walking all day. We got day drunk. We went to the other show. Me and Milo went and shot pool for a while. All this stuff happened. Then we went to the other show. And there was it was this huge pool hall. And there was all these couches. And I just sat on a couch and just fucking melted and went to sleep. And I woke up and it was straight out of a movie. Your eyes flash open and there's someone staring at you. And then your eyes close and you're like, I hope that's not real. Yep. And then there's someone and there's this big fucking fat dude.
Bruiser, dude.
Yeah, he's some fat bruiser staring right at me. And he just goes, I don't like you. And I was like, what? And he's just I don't like you. And I was like, oh shit. And dude, fully bitch made because I don't fucking know Mexico City, right? Am I gonna get in a fight? I don't want to go to jail.
That was so strange.
You know, it was fucking wild. Jesus. So I straight bitch made just went and told Kuko
This guy wants to fight me.
So it's hey, some dude's fucking with me. I don't know what to do. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. No big deal, whatever. And we played the show and then everything was squashed. I guess people were like, oh, the band was pretty good. Whatever. Because afterwards we signed fucking 20 autographs, right? Yeah. It was a shit ton of autograph signing and shit.
We played on top of pool tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
On practice bedroom equipment. It was badass.
Dude, that rules.
The little tiny practice
Combo
amp
amps?
you jam by yourself in your room. That big for everybody.
Yeah. It was sick.
And then I was filling in for Matt, so I think not that far into the set, I broke the snare stand, and then somebody literally held the snare for me for the rest of the set. It was so terrible. I felt so bad, dude.
There was literally a kid that came up and held the snare because the stand was broke.
That's so
it was so
I don't
savage,
know how
dude.
to describe that.
His ears are
I
fucked.
felt so terrible, but it was so badass at the same time.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
Because he was so yeah.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, obviously.
trying not to rim shot.
You seriously, I was every time, I was ah.
Yeah, but the kid was fired up. That kid's a fucking hero.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. But legend. Yeah. Yeah. It was sick. And then I guess everything was squashed and then we had to hurry, remember?
Yeah.
Because our bus was leaving at 12:30. And so we went to this bus station and we took a bus from DF to Guadalajara.
Yep.
And it was the best sleep I ever got. Because I don't know, there was probably 20 people on a nice big bus. You know all the buses that go around Mexico.
Nice and air conditioned.
Yeah, it was air conditioned and for people that don't know, Mexico City it's one of the biggest cities in the world. Yeah. So it's just this giant sprawl that goes and I just remember just dozing off, just looking at lights forever.
We've literally walked for 10 hours.
I know, I was so tired.
Apparently with equipment.
So tired. No. We didn't have our equipment. No. I think that it's a blended story. We did not have our equipment for the majority of the day because remember when we went from the first airport into where
florist shop.
Yes, we went to I think Kuko's family had a florist shop and we left our equipment there, and then but probably walked with our equipment from
Show
the one club
to
to show two, and it was not that close. It was probably 30 blocks. You know,
It was a real walk.
But yeah, and then we get on the bus and then just slept like motherfuckers, and it was sick. And then I just remember because we had some leftover beers in the merch, and I remember
smashed them.
Yeah, because I remember like chucking the merch off the bus, like there, and then it's like, oops, there go all the shirts.
Those shirts.
Yeah, and then Guadalajara, like that day was
Straight paradise.
straight beautiful because it was like Renee got us a spot that was like really, really close to like the city center, like the town square, and yeah, we just had like all day to chill. We got like a beautiful breakfast and then walked around. Like they had another like swap meet, and in Guadalajara, Mexico City is huge and bustling, and I mean it's one of the great cities of the world. It's an amazing place, but Guadalajara is just—it's also a great city, but it's more chill, right? I mean, Mexico City is like 25 million people. Guadalajara is probably 4 million. But like
It feels like neighborhoods.
yeah, it feels like more like a San Diego type city.
Clean.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like either were dirty. Like both felt really clean.
It was just more chill. It wasn't that crazy sense of urgency that a place like Mexico City would be.
Yeah, it was just chill vibes, and I've been back since. It's an amazing city. Everyone should go.
That's right.
And then also Tequila is only an hour outside of Guadalajara, so it's easy to go on a little tour and go to the promised land. So yeah, that was
the nectar from the promised
Oh, hey, let me.
Speaking of nectar,
Yeah,
So how many shows did you end up playing total on that tour?
it's just the three. So yeah, like I said, we played Tijuana on the Friday night, Mexico City on Saturday. Take a bus from Mexico City to Guadalajara, play Sunday night in Guadalajara, and then on Monday we flew back to Tijuana, and then walked across the border.
For some reason, I thought you had done like one in the States to kick it off, like in San Diego or something.
Well, Tijuana and San Diego are basically like the same city. It's just separated by a border. So Tijuana is basically a local show. Yeah.
play a fucking Vendetta Heat.
The whole time.
Yeah. What else you got, dude?
Is that the only tour Retaliate's actually done? As far as just like traveling?
Well, I would never consider playing 3 shows together a tour. I'd say it's a fun weekend.
You did a Baja swing or a Mexico swing.
Yeah. It's like that was vacation. It was so fun. No, the only other like interesting thing we did was we went and played in Sweden.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Let's get into We Are One.
Okay. Roger, why is there no bass on the record?
There's bass on the record, man. It's not like Injustice for All. There was just riffs. There were riffs that needed to be heard.
There was riffs, and there was a big gap between the first LP and that LP.
Yeah, we took like 3 years. Because it's 06, 09, and 2011.
I just
And then
remember,
2020.
Well, there was like an EP in between.
That's true. In 04 or 14.
Rip on that 7-inch.
It's fine.
yeah. Well, I remember everyone in Oxnard was like really excited for We Are One.
There was anticipation because
Yeah, a
it took
lot.
a long time.
Well, I remember Verity. I was working at Jamba Juice over off Channel Islands. I remember Verity came in, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up with Retaliate?" He's like, "It sounds like Slayer." and I didn't know if he was fucking with me or not.
That's serious.
That one song kind of does.
It took a turn. It just got the right hand got more active.
Definitely.
That was around the time when I was getting weeded out of the writing because it got too good for me.
Come on now. I don't know about
Got really
that.
good.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like I probably wrote half the first record. I wrote probably a third of that record, and then I wrote 2 songs on the third record. So, and then this record, I wrote 1.
Really? I don't know about that. That's crazy. Come on now.
Well, yeah, you had 2 different arts for that record, or you had an art idea and you had to change it.
Yeah. So Well, we wanted to like do the child soldier, like the African child soldier on the cover, but I mean that was probably some Smithsonian shit, right? And so you don't want to get sued, so we just kind of like replicated it. Yeah. So the kid on the cover is one of Aaron Belchere lived in Costa Mesa at the time. He was working at Hurley, and it's just one of his neighbors. And then I believe that's my friend Ben's AK. I think I borrowed Ben's AK, which is really strange. That would be a good one to call. Like, we should call Aaron and be like, "Hey, what did that family think when you're like, hey, can I borrow your kid?" And pose him with an AK. Let's see if he we should see if he picks up, huh?
Can't be worse than we borrowed the grandma for Thorns.
10:56 p.m.
I know. Let's see.
He's not sleeping.
Fuck it, dude.
Let's see.
Shout out to No Motive for thanking him for standing his ground.
That's funny.